I think I hear Satan talking to us in the explosions now.
If you play back the mouse explosions backwards, it'll give you instructions to watch the Clone Wars.
That was awesome, and it works with today's topic.
It does. I didn't even plan that. Go me.
It worked. It's Star Wars Rebels Day.
Yeah.
Cool. So if you don't know, now you know. This is Ed.
This is Mike.
And this is Carl.
Welcome back to Voice of the Republic.
Hi.
Another week, another episode.
Is it? Always something special.
It's kind of funny because, like, since we went back to weekly, like, it feels like we're doing a lot, but it also feels like we've been doing it a long time. But then on the other hand, we haven't been doing it a long time. It's like it's really conflicting feelings. Like sometimes, like every once in a while, I'll be like, God, it feels like we have like 20 episodes in the bag, and then I look, I'm like, oh, we only have 5. You know, it's like,
yeah.
And then sometimes I'm like, man, we've only been doing this like a month or so, and then, I don't know. I think it just depends on how much sleep I had, like how much work it feels like we've done.
Well, sleep will do that to your perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. In your emotional state, and that affects everything. Ugh. Make a break, man. Make a break.
Yeah, then it doesn't help that I don't go to bed until like 8, 9 o'clock in the morning most nights.
That's maddening, man. You can go crazy that way.
No lie, dude. I feel it. Like, because then there'll be some days like I won't go to bed until like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Then some days I'll be in bed by like 4 in the a.m. Then it's just like I just can't get my sleep schedule. But it did lead to something nice. I did get to watch Cosmos this morning before I went to bed.
Awesome. What'd you think?
Really, really good so far. They did a real great job. They've been mixing in some of the original Carl Sagan stuff, like voiceover work, and then even some of the pictures. But most of it's all original stuff. But it's always just nice to hear like Carl Sagan come in and do like an intro to something, and then and it's gorgeous. The special effects on it are better than most of the sci-fi movies that are coming out recently. The production value is just really good on it.
Very cool.
So like you're flying over like Jupiter, and like they're showing like a 3D rendering of like the red eye, like this with the storm and everything. And it's really cool. So
cool. Yeah, I look forward to it.
Yeah, it's on Hulu. I posted it on the Facebook group, even on the free Hulu. So even if you don't have a Hulu Plus subscription, you can go onto your computer and watch it right now, the first episode. So.
Fuck all y'all.
It's like Cosmos is way better than VOR. I'm gone.
Well, I know everything about Star Wars. I want to learn something new.
That's right.
You don't know everything about Star Wars. Star Wars is still being written.
That's true. Case in point, Rebels.
Damn, nice segue, Mikey.
Good job.
Good job. Yeah. We're all
Mikey's the one on top of everything today. He's on top of shit.
I haven't did research for this shit, so y'all better kiss my ass. I am serious, because like that was some painful. We'll just get on top of it.
Come on.
So
yeah.
So what is this Star Wars Rebels? Who knows?
It's a TV show with cartoons and stormtroopers, and they fight. Yeah, it's surprising that it is from the same, basically the same animation group that made Clone Wars, and are making something that is so far, in my opinion, seems a lot more original and has a lot more possibilities. At least, they're boasting that it will be such. As it'll be more original and more exciting than the Clone Wars. So I guess basically you've got like a team of misfit rebels in a neat-looking ship fighting the bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Ghost.
The Ghost.
What did you guys think of that ship design?
I thought it was very pretty. However, I didn't watch the little movie about it, like the little 2 or 3 minute movies that they've posted on the YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go in and admit that that's the only research I've done with regards to this show.
Well, it's honestly that's the majority of the stuff that's available right now. Everything else is kind of like speculation, and they've written some articles about it, but most of it's just those videos so far.
Okay, good. Then I'm on board.
Yeah, it's still really early. I mean, even in the videos, they're showing like really rough animatics and rough 3D animatics.
Where it's like stuff's not even like animated. It's just like, and like just bodies just kind of floating across.
Yeah, it's just a 3D person
jumping instead.
I don't know if you guys remember, but when they used to do the you would go to see Aladdin, and then one of the trailers for before Aladdin would start would be like blue line sketch animatics and rough animation of the next movie that's to be coming, like Pocahontas.
Right.
So like in those videos you get that kind of vibe. You get a mixture of things that are polished and finished, and then you get like real concept sketch looking stuff, which I like that.
Yeah. No,
big
it's
into
totally
that
cool.
stuff.
Well, and it also gives you a moment to appreciate, like, even though there's a lot of copy paste sort of like work with textures and models and stuff in the CGI cartoons and stuff, there's still a lot of work that goes into the actual manipulation and animation of the 3D objects. And it's kind of nice to see that before, and then like, then you look at something like the Clone Wars, which was really choppy and kind of crappily animated in the first season or two. But like, and that's one thing I will definitely give credit to the Clone Wars, is that first season or two was a little rough as far as animation goes. But then as they went along, it actually got really smooth, and you could tell that they really figured out, like, oh, here's the tricks to make these, like, practically just marionettes look, like, real. So.
Okay, well, that's good.
Well, to the Clone Wars credit, I've got to say that definitely had a look. It's very specific into itself, and what it reminded me of was the Thunderbirds.
Yeah, I think that was part of their, like, I think it was one of their influences for sure, in trying to not just have it look too much like the previous Tartakovsky Clone Wars, but stemming from that, flesh it out in 3D. I don't know. I thought I remember hearing about it. Maybe I just heard about it from us.
I heard it on this podcast with these.
That's where I get all my information.
Oops.
Yeah, I did. I like the design. Like, to me, the clone troopers are still kind of the definitive-looking clone troopers, because I went out and pretty much almost exclusively bought Clone Wars clone troopers, like, because I love the design of the armor, the angles of it, and everything. So, I don't know.
Yeah, and in general, I don't know. I wasn't crazy about the old Clone Wars look. It was distinct, but it still felt just like dirty plastic most of the time. I mean, yeah, it did. However, this one seems to be like there's finally different textures for skin and armor and cloth and plants and trees as it should be. So so far I'm really liking the visual style. It's
now
it seems kind of Disney, a little bit Clone Wars 3D, but it looks like it has its own voice.
Here's the dead honest question, though: how much of that appeal to you is their actual work, and how much is it of the appeal of going back to designs that are based off the original trilogy? Because you have like characters that look like almost like they're in the X-wing jumpsuits, Like the pilot character, she straight looks like she could be jumping into an X-wing with Luke.
Hera.
Yeah. So I mean, it's like, and even
I'm just talking about like facial characteristics, the style of the nose. Because unfortunately, this is just how it's going to be. Maybe forever is everybody's going to be going back through the works of Joe Johnston and being like, oh, we haven't used this stormtrooper yet. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of just scraping that cartilage off the horse, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think it has to be. Like Chopper, okay, they went back to the first R2 droid design for a lot of Chopper, not to get too far ahead of ourselves. But then there's like walkers that haven't been seen yet, and they come from the sketchbooks. They weren't used. They haven't been used yet, but here we are. Is it a good idea? I don't know.
It lends a note of authenticity to it. It says, "I'm still Star Wars. I'm coming from where Star Wars came."
Definitely.
On its surface. I mean, there could be brand new designs that were done next week that could feel even more Star Wars than the stuff that was actually left on the cutting room floor, if you will.
Yeah. And frankly, I'd rather see stuff like that than like the TIE Fighter tank. Have you guys seen that bullshit?
No.
It's a TIE Fighter tank. They just put like treads on either side of a TIE Fighter. This is a real thing. This is what makes me fall out of love with Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's like your wife comes home, she has a neck tattoo. You're like, but you're my wife. Why? It's not.
Well, now I'm your wife with a neck tattoo.
Exactly.
Well, now it's not obvious that now I'm your ride or die bitch.
And I think now should be
ride or
the
die
time,
bitch.
the time that I reveal that I'm super into pegging now. Oh, this sucks.
Didn't see that coming.
But I'll say, yeah, I think the look of it, and again, for me, it's getting back more towards the prequel, not the prequel, the original trilogy look. Because recently I had kind of a thing where I reinstalled Star Wars Galaxies, the old MMORPG that they had out there, because it was set into the original trilogy era, and I was just hankering for that look because I've been playing the old Republic, which is just pretty much like Fan EU meets Warcraft at some points.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I was so wanting to play in a universe that looked like stormtroopers and whatever, So it's
Totally.
just one of those things. And like when I got back to that universe, I'm just like, oh, there's orange, and it's like, oh, and there's black and white for the bad guys, oh, this feels so familiar, and it felt good.
Yeah, yeah. And as part of the documentaries get into the design of like the Imperial stuff, and they're not like the stormtroopers look really stylized, but everything else is so far pretty true. And I know that there's got to be it's Star Wars, but you want to make it your own. But it looks like for the most part, for established tried and true things, because it does take place between trilogies, the Star Destroyers aren't like extra fat or extra lean or bigger engines or like crazy tribal tattoos on their hull. I mean, they're Star Destroyers. That's all you need, and they're doing that. And I'm like, okay, good. That's good. Just Star Destroyers.
Yeah. So. Yeah, and I think it's really telling that when they were at that Celebration Europe, when the biggest pop that they got out of the crowd was when they showed just a standard Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
It's like there was nothing special about it. It looked like any other Star Destroyer that we've seen for like decades, and people were just like, "Woo!" They're just crazy over it just because they didn't talk with it,
But that's excellent. I mean, that's again gives me hope, kids. Gives me hope.
A new hope, maybe.
Or an old hope rekindled.
Oh, even better.
That's what they should call episode 7, an old hope rekindled. Wait, I'm sorry, not.
Still open.
Beating a dead hope.
Beating a dead hope.
How about bitch better have my money?
Throw another Jedi on the Bobby.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyway. Well, cool. That's a show.
All right.
How do you guys feel?
Well, I feel good. And how do you feel, listener and or viewer? If you have comments for us, send them to us. The Republicomm is always open. You'll see it in the 4th part of this episode. You can contact us at voiceofrep@gmail.com. You can send us text emails or MP3s, WAV files. Any of the modern standard audio files, will play it on the show. Or if you don't want to do that, you can give us a call at 407-409-8749. And if any of this is going too fast, go to vorradio.com. The information is there, and you can link it.
Slam dunk.
Wow.
Nothing but net, Carl.
Taking it home.
All right. Well, cool. So we'll be back tomorrow with more Clone Wars. That was Satan. Star Wars Rebels. Cool. Till then, may the Force
Be with.
That ass.
Dude.